Okay, now the first topic in your chapter is chemical equations. Okay, as we have learned in activity 1.1 that when magnesium ribbon is burned in the presence of air, so it gets added with along with air and get converts into magnesium oxide in the form of powder. Okay, so likewise, as I have stated earlier when I was starting the chapter, I stated that our life is bounded with plenty chemical reactions. Okay, but if we need to study about these, if we need to know about the working of the reaction, the execution of the reaction, okay, if we need to know about complete details of that reaction, so we have to state that reaction in the form of sentence or equation. Okay, we have to state that reaction in the form of sentence or an equation. These kind of equations are called as chemical equation. Got the point? Okay, so every reaction, every chemical reaction, if we need to study on that, that is how it is undergoing the reaction, how it is getting added or subtracted, how the elements are working, how the atoms and molecules are working, what number of items and molecules are getting added, what number of items and molecules are getting subtracted, which molecules are added, which molecules are subtracted, which product is getting which, what the result we are getting. All we need, if we need to study about this, then we need to write the equation of that reaction. That react the equation which represents the reaction is called as chemical equation. Okay. For example, in our activity 1.1, what we did, we have burned the magnesium ribbon. Okay, magnesium ribbon. That means we have exposed the magnesium ribbon to the flame, right? But automatically, air got added, right? Automatically air got added. So how we can represent the equation? First we have to write magnesium plus oxygen, because oxygen is getting added. Magnesium plus oxygen, it gives the result as magnesium oxide. That is, this result is called as product. Okay, after composed to the flame and oxygen, the result what we are getting is called, what we call it as what we call it as product of the reaction. Okay, product of the chemical reaction. After undergoing the reaction, what result we get? Okay, that result is called as product of the chemical reaction, chemical equation. Okay, so in our this activity, we have exposed magnesium to the air. No, so we have exposed magnesium to the flame, but automatically oxygen got added, so we have to add magnesium plus oxygen. It gives rise to magnesium oxide, that is in the form of powder, as a product we are getting. As in our textbook we can see here in equation 1.1, magnesium, in between the oxygen and magnesium we are having plus sign. Okay, this plus sign indicates that oxygen is getting added to this product, or sorry, oxygen is getting added to this element. In return, the result what we are getting is indicated by the arrow mark, and the result what we are getting is magnesium oxide. So we have to write magnesium oxide, and this magnesium oxide what we call it as product, the result, the outcome what we get after the reaction, right? So the substances that undergo reaction is chemical react change is called as, the substances that undergo chemical change is called, is in the reaction or 1.1 is magnesium and oxygen. These two are called as reactants. What we call reactants. Reactants. For example, in our daily life we watch films, we watch movies. In that movies, what characters we have? heroines, villains, etc. So what we call them? We call them as actors, actors and actress. Same way in this chemical movie, all the elements what are get undergoing the reaction are called as reactants. Same like actors in movies, we have similarly reactants in chemical equations we will have. Okay, all that elements that undergo chemical reaction is called as reactants. And after undergoing that chemical reaction, after completing that chemical reaction, the product what we get, the outcome what we get, the result what we get is called as product of the chemical reaction. And in this case, in our activity 1.1 case, magnesium we are adding to the flame plus oxygen, we are getting as magnesium oxide as a result. So this magnesium oxide what we call as product of the reaction. Got the point? So, and remember one thing, in every chemical reaction, all the reactants, that means the elements, the substance that undergo reaction are indicated on the left hand side of the reaction, right? All the reactants are indicated, are written, are exposed, are stated on left hand side of the reaction. Okay, after undergoing complete reaction, after completing the activity, the product what we are getting, that we will write on right hand side, right? Okay, the product always should be written on right hand side, the product of the chemical reaction. Either the reaction may be exposed to air or maybe isolated reaction. Every reaction, the product of every reaction should be written on right hand side of the reaction. Okay, and in between the reactants and product, always we have to draw an arrow mark. The arrow mark which should be initiated from the reactant side and should be terminated on product side. Okay, the arrow mark should be always initiated from, started from reactant side, and it should be terminated, it should be stopped on towards product side. Okay, and in between their reactants and products, we will be having positive sign, plus sign. As you can see in equation 1.1, magnesium and oxide, in between these two elements we have plus sign. And after these two elements we have arrow mark that will be indicating the product of the magnesium chemical reaction. Okay.